back once again. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today we're looking at Blade from 1998, starring Wesley Snipes. So we are rewinded back in time to 1967. Here we see Blade's mother, Vanessa, being rushed to the operation room, played by Sana Lathan. And she is bitten from something which we will know soon, and she has given birth to Blade, the protagonist of the movie, or Eric, as that's his real name. So here we are in modern day LA, Los Angeles, with this horny couple headed through Rocky Balboa's old meat factory job. But this is not Pennsylvania. But behind all of it is a members only kind of club. But this girl's boyfriend does not fit that members only category, as you can see. And now he sees blood dripping onto his hand, and directed by Stephen Norrington. And the emergency showers are spewing blood as well. This is obviously a vampires only club, and this guy's clearly a human. And now his vampire girlfriend and her clubmates just scared the shit out of this poor guy. These two have probably met on a dating site for sure. So everything freezes, and here we see the main center of attention in the club. So he's a vampire hunter, sort of like that show Supernatural, The Vampire Diaries, which I've seen in the past. But Snipes is the original, I think we all know that. Blade is based off a comic book, if you didn't know, which I've never even seen a comic book of anywhere. So he shoots all of the vampires in the club, well at least some of them since the rest are running out, as well as Snipes using his Hapkido skills. And here comes out, which is, I guess, the club owner with his own personal secret service, who are vampires, as well as the club owner himself.
Give my regards to Frost.
So Blade burns him alive and sees the cops walking in and leaves a human with the vampire girlfriend by himself. Okay, so Blade, played by Wesley Snipes, manages to slip out from this little opening and back onto the street. Okay, so now the club owner's burnt body has been brought to forensics. Quinn is his name, by the way. And here we meet Karen Jensen, played by Nabushe Wright, who is a hematologist.
Okay, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
This is not a joke. I've got the body sitting in the morgue right now.
He's not flirting with you, believe me. So Curtis, the co-doctor here, tells her to come look at the body.
You ever have second thoughts about us?
Sometimes.
I shagged her rotten, baby, yeah.
Looks like they already shagged, as Austin Powers likes to put it. And now with this, vampires are immortal, we knew that. So now Karen Jensen's now being bitten, and here comes Blade without his glasses. So he's here to finish off Quinn and these goofy ass security guards don't know that he is built like a superhero. Alright, the charcoal barbecued Quinn jumps out of the building and into the ambulance and just runs away. While at the hospital, Blade is walking towards Dr. Karen Jensen and sees the big bite on her neck and just runs away with her, or kidnaps her. The cops continue to shoot and the two escape. So he's driving on an empty road at around 5 a.m. It looks like 5 a.m. with the bitten Karen Jensen. Even the car Blade is driving is like the one from Supernatural, probably in reference to this movie. So this place is actually like a mini clinic, as Blade brings Karen to Whistler, played by the famous country singer and folk singer Chris Christopherson, who died this year actually as well, like Carl Weathers. So Whistler injects Karen with this injection, some complicated name, and he tells her it was Quinn who did this, one of Frost's people. So here we are at some dark meeting filled with vampire officials, one of them being Gitano, played by Udo Kier. This is like an old James Bond kind of Spectre meeting you would see in a Sean Connery movie, as they scan at pictures of Blade and they know he killed a lot of vampires from the club earlier that was in the meat factory. And now Dakin, Frost, is called in, played by Stephen Dorff. And now all these guys are complaining that his clubs are dangerous for the vampires to be in. Frost says that vampires will rule the world one day and humans won't, and he leaves the meeting. Blade walks in to buy some more garlic to kill some more vampires, and now Karen Jensen's all awake and healed from the bite, and just looks all over the place, and now she overhears Blade and Whistler's conversation, noticing that she is a hematologist, and Whistler increased the dose of the injection that was given to her earlier to have her sleep longer. And now Blade's being injected with more blood, I guess for a stronger immune system to not get infected by these advanced vampires. So Whistler spots Karen Jensen, runs after her. Now they introduce each other to Karen. Whistler tells Karen that vampires are everywhere and are allergic to silver as well, as garlic not always working, and now hands Blade this ultraviolet light. Karen is confused at where to go as Blade heads back as she tells them that she has samples of her own, and now hands her some vampire mace and some words of advice.
You start getting sensitive to daylight, I suggest you take that gun and use it on yourself.
As the two now cruise through LA. So back at Vampire HQ, we see Gitano walking to Frost.
Out. What do you have to, Frost?
And just leaves. Now Blade drops Karen back at the apartment. Now she waits for the elevator and spots a symbol on the back of these two necks and walks. And we see this as she gets up to her floor. Now she tries to run away, and we see this police officer, Krieger, to check on her she's been reported that she's been kidnapped, and since Curtis is now dead from that bite from Quinn's body earlier, and that she was kidnapped from the hospital by Blade, of course.
Because you're dead too, bitch.
Krieger has done all this to become a vampire, or tried to become a vampire. Talk about fitting in. And now Blade shows up, beating Krieger around, and shows Karen the symbol on the back of his neck associated with the vampires. But he's not really a vampire.
Speak.
So now they search Krieger's car and find a lot of stored blood in the trunk, and Blade wants to know where this is all going. So Krieger runs away. So they wait for Krieger to come back until it's nighttime, which he does. And now Blade follows Krieger as he calls up HQ to warn them about Blade being on his tail. Okay, so the two stop somewhere in downtown LA and spots a lot of vampires surrounding the area, as well as the two now get ready to kill some more vampires. Now Blade and Karen enter this Japanese club, I think it's Japanese, and we see Officer Krieger as these guys watch these girls singing. As Blade beats Krieger again, there's also yet again another secret club type meetup space exclusively for vampires inside the fridge. So the two now take an elevator and now enter this private record room. And now we are relocated to Dakin Frost's apartment as he is having a party as he tries to translate this vampire code thing. And here we see Quinn, the vampire that was led up to death in the first 3 minutes by Blade, as well as the same burnt body from the morgue. So Krieger shows up to the party wanting to talk to Dakin Frost and tells him that Blade is using the hematologist as bait. And now Dakin bites him. And now he's dead. So back at the record room, we see this unusual specimen as Blade wants some answers from it and about it and wants looking at the screen.
Is that so?
So it's fried, and now the two break into the storage room as the door is now blown off. And inside we see the walls, the same pages we see on Dakin Frost's computer, and they are actually pages from a vampire Bible. So Blade hears and sees something, and it's a little, which is a trap laid out by Quinn himself.
Give me your hand.
And now Blade is trapped as he tried to hurt him, but doesn't work. That earpiece was a call from Whistler for emergencies, and we see the shootout, and they need Blade alive so they can stop and run after him. Now the Japanese club is all blown up and wait for this train to move out of the way, and now we see the end of Quinn. Well, for now. They get into the train as Blade fixes his dislocated arm and needs to take a blood sample. Next scene, back at the clinic, Whistler tells a life story about finding Blade, taking him in when he was 13, and now his mom gave birth to him while she got bitten by a vampire, and why Whistler has joined forces with him to kill all of these vampires. And Frost is the biggest threat here. Okay, so next scene we see Blade sitting down as Karen comes to check on him. Okay, so back at Frost's apartment, Quinn is having an argument with the girls. Now Frost takes a little break, and now they bring out this guy all masked up to the beach, and it's Gitano. And now they wait for the sun to rise. As you already know, vampires are scared of the light, and they melt if they're exposed to sun. Okay, back at Vampire HQ, Gitano, or also known as Dragonetti, is now dead, and now Frost throws his vampire teeth as proof that he is dead. Now Karen Jensen has brought her stuff over to Whistler's clinic and shows a sample of vampire blood. And now she wants a sample of Blade's blood, and Whistler has cancer, that's why he's coughing a lot here. Okay, so now she's peeling something off of her neck as Whistler spots it, and yeah, it's the same bite from earlier. Now back in downtown LA, we see Blade walking and spots Frost with a young girl with him, and looks like he's about to kill her. Frost now tries to convince Blade that he's a full vampire, and that he should just join them. And now he's really gonna kill the girl. So Blade starts shooting at Frost, throws the girl towards the road and saves her. Karen tries to come up with a cure, and now Frost's guys show up, including himself, as Whistler is shot on the leg, as Frost stomps on Whistler's face and now lets Quinn kill him. So Blade is back and now sees some dead bodies and uncovered this white cover and spots Whistler, and he's still alive. Frost took Karen. Whistler also tells Blade that Frost is trying to start a vampire apocalypse by resurrecting a vampire by the name of La Magra, that he needs Blade's blood for it to work. Now Whistler begs for Blade's gun so that he can kill himself, since there's no point for him to live and he already has cancer. Now Blade sees a recording of Frost so that he can find them at the Edgewood Towers, which is where his apartment is at, and now he does his whole hard to kill routine here. So back at the Edgewood Towers, we see Karen being watched by Frost. Now she tries to piss him off, and now he gets mad, and that this will all work once he has Blade's blood sample. And now these vampires are disguised as SWAT team guys are here for Blade as he enters Frost's apartment and he shoots them all off. What the f***? Now he enters Frost's office and now he's trapped inside, and we see something shocking here. So betrayed by his own mom for a vampire.
I thought you'd be happy. Finally being reunited with your mother, and you act like...
So now he's locked up with Karen Jensen, and now Blade and Karen are being taken to the Temple of Night with everyone present, and now Frost wants a Blade's sword, and now he has all of Blade's serums and throws it away, and now he's taken away while Karen's just pushed down here. And here she meets Curtis again, now that he's a vampire. So she tries to escape, and now Blade is trapped with his blood being drained. Now everyone is getting ready for the ceremony. Okay, so Karen managed to release Blade with most of his blood already gone, and now she offers him some of her blood. Blade's blood is now dripped into the vampire officials as Frost's guys get ready. And now the temple is activated. And now Blade's mother tries to attack him as Karen grabs a gun, and now he kills her.
I must release you.
I must break you.
Leaving Frost and his girlfriend alive with the rest dead. So Blade kills Quinn and gets his glasses back, and now we see a fight. And that's the end of Frost's girlfriend. So he gets his knife sword back, and now a sword fight between Blade and Frost to end it off. He grabs a serum as well as a piece of marble ready to fall down onto Frost with all these serum syringes onto him. And that's a lot of garlic. And yet another cartoony type death. And now the two get out, and Blade tells her that this is not over yet, since there are 2 more Blade movies after this. We already knew that.
There's still a war going.
And now we are at Moscow, Russia, which I guess Blade is now relocated here for a vampire war in Russia. And here we see the first one. And there you have it, Blade, 1998. I didn't know that this was a superhero movie until recently, but yeah, good stuff. I haven't seen the next two Blade movies at all. I will someday. But that's it for me. See you soon in Blade Runner from 1982, starring Harrison Ford. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you like, for all you Blade fans out there. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon, and watch away. And check out Blade if you haven't yet.